Okay. I suppose we are live. We are live. Before we get too far into this, let me, do I not have like a Wacom cheat sheet thing here? Yeah. Oh, that's dumb. Yeah, I need to do this. What's going on, Maxi Mad Labs? Good to see you, man. Hopefully you're doing well this night. I'm doing good, Maxi. I'm doing pretty good so far. Mostly just chilling. Today it's very different than regular streams. Kind of don't have a plan for what to do today. I could do work on FNF and call this day 25 or 26 or whatever, but those days are starting to run really, really small, and how I use them is more and more important. So, and there's some design decisions I have to make, as well as make assets. So, oh, is this wrong because I didn't do this? No. Why is this being weird? Why is Xset Wacom not working? Invalid parameter, what? What's going on, Soda? I'm having a good one, Soda. Having a good one, man. But yeah, so there's some things. There's some things I need to work out mentally as far as the design for the game is concerned before I commit to actually doing proper work. So for today, I kind of have like, let's say, options. Actually, let's do this. I have some options in mind right now. We can do FNF art and assets. So like we can start doing potential concepts, start making some different vehicles, hulls, engines, things we've been neglecting. Like I said, I'm not going to count assets as part of the day count. This stuff I'm fine with like working off stream or on stream in this case. I'm just not going to count as a day. Am I changing the rules? Yes, I am. Do I care? Not really. Hulls, yeah. Hulls. Engines. So we can do this kind of thing. There's just another thing I'm just doing general art. What's going on, Draco? Good to see you. What's going on, Geek F1? Alala, what's going on, Zero? It's good to see you, man. ¿Qué está haciendo? Nada ahora. Solamente estoy pensando a qué hacer. Watching this while messing around with Diablo 6. Yeah, Diablo 1, nice, man. So, general art is just, we're going to have fun and do some art. General art for fun. Option 3, I wasn't considering it because we'd already done music streams and they usually do bad, but it's like, who cares? I'm doing what I want to do. There's music production streams. That's an option. There's a fourth option, which is like, so the song we were producing Sunday or Saturday. It's got my brain going, dude. I did some work off stream and it's like coming together really nice. It's coming together very nice. And it's like music for a fundamentally different game. It's music for a fundamentally different game. So we can start designing, concepting what the next game may look like. Or maybe like see if it integrates into Messy Mansion at all. But yeah, I've done some work. I've done some work on off stream. Do I have it? I have it downloaded here, right? Yeah. Do you like my naming for files? It's like idea. Like Sunday we had this version, and then, or no, Saturday when we did the stream we had this version of the song, and then later on Sunday I had version 1, 2, and then I think finally 3 last night or early this morning. But yeah, like it feels like so RPG, this song. Like, can I? I recorded some extra parts for it too, for the guitar. I just want to make a battle theme, dude. And then we have the A part. Wait for it. The doubles. Yeah. Alright, anyways, you get the idea. So that's option 4, is like start designing this next game. The game we're going to work on after Fight and Flight is done. Whatever we're going to call this game. This could be the Discord dungeon game that you mentioned, Zero. The Discord RPG game, or it could be .dungeon. You could revisit that game idea. Or it could just be an extension, like a part of a Messy Mansion. This one doesn't feel as convincing because Messy Mansion has that PS1 sound. So it's not gonna, I would have to like down sample it and everything, and it's just gonna, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Or I guess more accurate, more appropriate would be Crimson Crown potentially. I could see this being in Crimson Crown as like a stage there. And then like the final option we can do today before anything, because I kind of do want to do some coding on my spare time, but is just regular old F&F deving and just figure out what we're gonna do today. And it's not like there's shortage of things to do. It's just, it's very cerebral stuff. Not cerebral. It's just like in the weeds type stuff. Well, there's some that are in the weeds, and there's some that are just like, we have to make design decisions before we do it. Otherwise, I'm going to implement something that may just be removed. Yeah, I was thinking about the design goals, but like there's still things we have to do. Like there's, well, this is going to be dependent on design, so that we can't do that today unless, you know, I don't want to waste a day just for like an hour. There's environment stuff. There's fixing the chunk manager. That's pretty straightforward-ish. Fix orientation of hazards under specific ranges. We actually fixed that one, so that's actually good to go. We fixed that one. There's another issue though where certain hazards disappear prematurely. So we need to figure out the cause of that, which is probably going to be due to a couple things. This can be due to bad model chords or bad culling conditions. Tied to this too is also the fact that levels have like a line of hazards, so you can't even go around the entire cylinder, which sucks. Levels have wall of hazards. I think it's probably going to be fixed with just like a simple change from greater than or equal to just greater than, or something like that. It's going to be something very simple, I think. The change itself is going to be very simple. Finding out where the change has to happen that's going to be the tricky part. That stuff we can for sure do today. Beyond that, we also have to implement other pickups. We have coins. We also need to have the heart containers, or heart, I don't know, HP up, let's say that, right? We have to have the HP up. We have to have I want to have a best, like your personal best thing. That's gonna be more like a save data. But just store like the player's best runs. So high score system, let's say. So yeah, there's things we can still do. There's still things we can do, but I don't know, man. There's quite a lot. There's quite a lot that can be done. Now it's just a matter of the heart of the cards, right? POV, you listen to finally making music 3.mp3. Yeah, music 3.mp3. Thank you, man. I'm glad you dig the monitor. Prematurely, not prematurely. I'm sorry, man. What did I do? Prematurely. How do you say it's supposed to be spelled? Actually, how did I spell it initially? Prematurely. Or prematurely. Alright. So, I don't know. Let's play the game for a second and just see where this takes us. I also have the music off too, don't I? Yeah, the game is actually pretty... We really need that UI though, I'm not gonna lie. We really need UI. Also, I want to change the hazards because it looks fine for just communicating 2D, like where your hazards are, but I don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't look great to me. Like maybe make them traffic cones or something. I also need to make stages a little bit shorter because it's like. Oh yeah, there's the hazard thing we have to talk about, like a warning that indicates where bad things are. Yeah, there's another thing we have to do, which is I don't know, it's either we do that. I was thinking about maybe the faster you go, the camera starts tilting more. But hazard indications. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about that. How do we want to indicate hazards to players? So there's like screen space stuff we can do. Or off-screen indicators. There's the camera shift rotation as you get faster in speed. This can be an absolute scale thing as well, so it scales proportionally not to your maximum speed, but just an absolute value for speed. Or maybe we keep it 0, 1, I don't know. Maybe there's enough development work to do already to just call this another day. Maybe that's what we just do. Maybe that's what we do. Oh, that's fantastic. That's cool. Thanks, Ryder. Alright, I'm not saying this is another day, but we're just gonna look at the code real quick and then see where that takes us. I think I can't escape it. I can't escape having this be another day of work. Another programming. Another day on the clock. I might have to give myself an extension. The game in one day thing is like quickly spiraling. Like I could, if I wanted to get this game done, like, okay, what day is it right now? What day are we on as far as the game is concerned? Or as far as YouTube is concerned? I don't have a Firefox. Let's check it out. What was the last stream I did? That was actually game programming. What's going on, JJ? The Discord age check thing? Yeah, I need to bring that up. Because I really don't want to deal with that. I'm not trying to get doxxed. So I'm like, do we just go to TeamSpeak or do we make our own website? Like, what do we do, man? What do we do? I have no idea. I know there's been some other Discord alternates, but the last one was day 24. Okay, so then if we do development today, then this will constitute day 25, meaning we have like what, 5 more days? Well, let's count it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, good old 5 days. I know math. But yeah, like, if you really want to get this game done in 5 days, we would have to chop stuff. We would have to chop stuff. So I'm gonna have to change the titles to be like a game made in like 1 month plus 1 day and then 2 days. Like, we're gonna have to change it to be like that, because like the goal clearly hasn't been met. Whatever. I could rush it, but I also don't want to make something that I don't like or I'm not happy with. The idea of doing the cylinder thing has been the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. And the engine thing. So, but it is what it is. Screw it, we're gonna make this day 25, whatever. Who cares? I don't care. We're in for fun. What is important to prioritize in this list, though? Oh, there's other things. There's another thing I want to do is also just start doing some VFX. Where is it? Where are you? Do I do it? Yeah, VFX. I want to have better VFX or actual VFX for getting hit, pickups, and going faster. We also have to have the level transitions. That's a thing we need to do. 1 second. That is kind of important. Yeah, a game in 1.5 months, 0, exactly. And then it's going to be a game in 2 months, and then a game in 3 months. Amigos, I'm good with ever. Okay, man. We're going to have to figure out something for Discord, a Discord replacement. I really don't want to... I don't know. I don't want to give my personal information, my license to Discord. Game in 1 year. That's how it happens. All my projects start off like that, dude. Messy Mansion was meant to be a 1 week game, and then a 2 week game, and then it became a year game. But looking at the text from that far away, it's alright, log. I look at a normal monitor for my day job and most of my life. This is perfectly fine. Yeah, at some point I have to make a hard deadline though, because I can't just keep extending. We'll see. So, level transitions. Yeah, this is the big one. This is the biggie. Because in there we have to check the level speed bonus. So what? We have the level speed bonus. We have to actually have the visual transition while still feeling like continuous. Because I don't want this to feel like it's like a... Like, I don't want to feel like the player's being teleported immediately. Because that's what we're going to do. We're gonna teleport the player back to the starting position. But there's gonna just change the generator. But we have to do this in a seamless way. So this might require a screen space shader. We already have stuff. We have stuff for this, so that shouldn't be that crazy. These are the two major things: the level speed bonus and the screen space shader. That's like the two main things I'm concerned about. Oh, one last thing. The biggest elephant in the room is the chip system. I hinted about it. This is going to be where things go crazy, because the chips were meant to be like a general purpose thing you can add to your vehicle that changes how you interact with it. Which means that you can, like, stop time, maybe. Or maybe a simple one just, like, lets you do an attack, right? A dash attack or something. Anushka, what's going on? It's the same guy, Anushka. It's good to see you, Anushka. How are you doing? Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. You missed the music streams. The one day, it's so funny. The days I'm actually doing guitar stuff is the days you're not there. And then every time I'm not doing guitar stuff, you're there. That's hilarious. Though, Anushka, I did get a new guitar. I got this bad boy. Look at this bad boy. He is so... Okay, let me actually show it to the camera instead. Let's not break it. But look at this bad boy. Is he not the most beautiful guitar? Look at that. Look at that bad boy. Look at him. Beautiful. Probably the nicest guitar I'm gonna have. I don't know. It's gonna be my favorite for sure. Makes me very happy. I was up super late last night doing some ideas with it as well. Beyond just the one we recorded on stream, on the music stream. Ah, man. And I figured out how to properly record it as well, because last stream we were having some issues, and it turns out that I had to change my the output gain on my second mixer because it was coning, or not coning, it was clipping. So we couldn't hear the actual nice character of the guitar sound, but now I can. How late is super late for you? I mean, I don't know, man. Late is such a weird thing for me. Late last night though, it was like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. for me. I've recorded like, well, let me find the recordings real quick. It's great because it's like an acoustic guitar, but it also is electric. Or it's electric, but it also is like a semi-acoustic, so it sounds pretty good unplugged. Yeah, what time did I record this? This is recorded... Yeah, 1:18 a.m., I believe. I still need to figure out the timing, but yeah, like even acoustic unplugged right now, it sounds pretty good. plugged in, it's like... 1 second. Plugged in, it sounds like this. Do you hear it actually? Do I have it unmuted? I don't know, I can't tell. Pretty nice. Alright. There she goes. Anyways. Very nice guitar. I like it a lot. Makes me very happy. Especially in these cold winter months. But yeah, this is a lot. Dash attacks, stop time, maybe have a projectile one. Maybe have one for dodging. Or like intangible. Intangibility. There's a bunch of ideas we have here. Cozy, I fell asleep at 2:30 a.m. But time zones, yeah, it's different. An E. Yeah, this is a part of the game I've been neglecting super hard, and that we probably need to implement. So you know what, honestly, today's 25, day 25, screw it. We're starting it, day 25. And we're just gonna handle this. So we need to have... We have the player controller that's gonna emit requests for changes. Or it's routing inputs. We have the relative joystick thing, but I want to have it where the relative joystick. Oh, that's another thing I need to write notes on this stuff. Placement of player to be mobile friendly. All right. Anyways, so we have this class that's like a player controller, and it basically is this pipeline that routes inputs into the actual player class, and then the player class actually executes this stuff. It's pretty handy. And the way the game currently is that you have this global, you have this relative joystick, and you can click anywhere on the screen, and it's going to activate it. I'm going to turn that off right now. So you can just click anywhere here, and you can do that. That's cool and all. But I think I want to take a Roblox approach to this, where it's like, if you click on this side of the screen, I'm assuming you want to activate the chip ability of your bike, and it's going to do some crazy thing. And if you're pressing here, I'm assuming that you want to control the player's movement. So we have to like have a thing to have the joystick ignore inputs from this side of the screen, and likewise have, you know, any presses here actually activate that attack ability. So there's some considerations, and then there's of course the button move as well, where I might have an option where you can, instead of doing the relative joystick, you can just have on-screen UI and just press buttons physically. Not physically, but like, you know, you get the idea. There's like buttons on the screen. So we have these two modes for getting UI inputs. And right now we only read one at a time. And likely if you're doing that chip button press, you're likely to be pressing to be holding down the joystick while doing so. So that's probably not great. You probably actually we might have to change the way we have our input controller implemented so we can actually have multiple inputs and handle that. This is not as easy as I would have thought. Next we have this, get a keyboard input. Actually, where's the mouse happening? Here you are, you're getting pointer position. Whoops. And then we're just doing input, game, pointer position, read value. Which is fine if we're assuming there's only ever one pointer, but now that we have two potential pointers, we have to actually listen for that. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I kind of want to be just a little. I just kind of want to take the easy route and just make a button. Like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'd rather just make it an invisible button that covers half the screen. And then that's just what we use to invoke changes. Instead of being smart and actually handling multi-input. I have wrote a multi-input system in GameMaker once. I wonder if I could just yoink it and then convert it to Unity. I'd rather just write it again. Okay, so we have all this. Where's the communication boundary for the player? Or do we even need to have a communication boundary for the player? I think I'd want to, because the player is kind of the physical, is like the in-universe representation of everything. What's going on, Turmerica? I'm from Texas. Hey, Zero, if you're Canadian... Hey, Zero, your people made this guitar for me, Zero. This is a Canadian-made guitar. Like an actually made in Canada guitar. I just supported your people. I can't believe it, Zero. I have propped up your economy. You have food on your table thanks to me buying, getting that guitar. What part of Canada? I have no idea. Let's see here. I'm going to work out just a game right now, man. Just a game, and I'm trying to figure out some input stuff. We do input. Oh, dude, we don't pipe input into the player. The player reads input from this on update. Oh, this is like an immediate mode thing. I implemented this like an immediate mode type application. Interesting. Okay. So in that case, we have this property. So there's got to be a property, right? Like this is how that works. Yeah, there's a property. Why are you down here? Be in the top. This is what other components are going to be looking at. Chip activated. And let's actually spell it correctly for once. And then I think the easiest thing we're going to do chip button. It's just called chip button. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I typed in chip button. No, we don't add that. We break our references. I don't care. And then what do we do? Chip button. In fact, I want this to be not accessible to the player. In fact, this stuff should all be like private serialized. Yeah, serialized field. That's what I want to do. Yeah, because the player should not have access to any of this. I'll break these references later, or do the formally serialized as, whatever. Right now, I just don't care. I don't care. Key input, get UI input. Okay, cool. We do all that. I want to go back to start actually. Yeah. So I know we have UniRx. Is there like an unbutton down observable or button? Or I guess because I'm trying to do this in a immediate mode type way. I'm trying to type chiptune. Chip button is not an. Okay, I think we might have to just listen to events. I'm really bad with UI. I'm not gonna lie. UI is not my strong suit. On click as observable, and we're gonna do some stuff there. We're gonna subscribe and then set. Equals true. And then oh, it's mad not because of that. It's mad because I'm not using UniRx. Wait. No. Yeah. There we go. And that should go away. You're still mad, but it's okay. We can just do this. Make you a lambda expression and you're going to be happy. And then we just add to this guy. Cool. Do you have a thing for unreleased? Or maybe that's not going to do what I want it to do. The thing is, I don't want this to be stuck true, right? That's the issue. That's the crux of the issue here. I want to make it so like it's true for this frame and then the subsequent frame it's false. We can, on update, just say, hey, if it's true, mark it off, but that's probably going to be bad. That's not reliable. Or I can just do the dirty thing and make this a coroutine. Just make this, oh, you can do like, or try doing a unitask. That'll be cool. Oh, wrong thing. Do I not have a unitask in here? Is unitask not a thing? Wait a second. I could have sworn unitask is part of UniRx. Is it not? Have I been bamboozled? I mean, it's not the end of the world. We can just do an IEnumerator and just call it a day. It just feels, I don't know. I feel like I feel defeated. Either way. This feels so jank and not right. I actually hate this. I hate this grievously. Absolutely. But this is what comes to mind, so we're just gonna stick with it. Alright, what's going on here, guys? Draco, is public versus private basically what can be viewed and edited as raw text versus encrypted? There's no encryption here, Draco. There's no encryption, right? Public and private is not a technical constraint. It is a man-made constraint for programmers, so that I can tell a programmer, hey, here's this class, here's the things you should look at, and here's the things that you shouldn't look at, right? If a programmer is looking at this player controller class, I'm telling them based off of how I use public and private, hey, these are the things you're going to be looking at and accessing and doing stuff with. Everything here is private, and you're not going to touch it. You're not going to even know it exists unless you go into the class. Okay? That is what private. private entails. That's the whole point of scoping. It's just kind of indicating to programmers what you should look at and what you shouldn't look at. Things that are implementation details versus like API level stuff. Basically what it is. Basically what it does. And there's other types of scopes too, like protected and sealed and internal and whatnot, but they're all just different levels of that kind of thing. But this is all purely a man-made restriction. This is not a technical restriction. This is a human constraint we've applied to ourselves. If used well, it can be a great guardrail. If used badly, you can make things vastly more complex than they actually need to be. Okay, cool. Of course, we're going to document it as well. So, and Draco, even like for example, right? Like just to demonstrate it for you. Like, we see this class. It's called player control. Let's go to player, which has access to an instance of this class. Where is it? We have, yeah, player control, right? So where do we access it? Where does it get access? It's probably going to be on start at some point. Yeah, here. Let's go take a trip. Where's player control? You're here somewhere, I know it. Player control. Player control. Are you not here? You are a liar. Okay, it's gonna be probably what, get component. Yeah, player control, there we go. It's called control, I'm done, okay. So we have this control, this access to this player control. We're gonna see it from the perspective of an outsider. If I go into here and I press dot, we see everything that's available to us. There's this input, that's the thing we talked about earlier. We have this, and there's a bunch of stuff that's just baked into mono behavior. So there's all this other stuff that we don't actually need. But yeah, like we're seeing input, but we're not seeing any of the private stuff. If I try typing debug text, see, it's not gonna give it to me. Even if I type it like correctly, and you're gonna see, why is this giving me an error? Cannot access private serialized field, or it's a private field in general. I don't have access to that. So yeah, scope and a lot of OOP is not technical management, but rather people management, information management. It's just management, honestly, dude. So, cool. I'm assuming this should work as I want to. And then we're gonna have a thing here. This has a lot of responsibilities, but whatever. It's fine. Life is fine. I'm not gonna complain. Activate ship. Maybe call it try activating ship. And then we have this. Let's see here. Where's our update? That's physics update. I want to go to just general update. Here. So we have our general stuff for checking to see if for pause, final input, whatever. We have the update frame, update the flame, my bad. Before this though, we want to check to see if the controller is chip activated is true, and if it's true, we're going to try activating our chip. There's not a guarantee, it just says, hey, I heard this was activated this frame. I'm going to try doing the thing in the chip. And either it works or it doesn't. I don't know why it's plural when there's only a single chip in there, but whatever. Oh, they're called chips? Why did I make this plural? This represents a single chip. What are you talking about? It's a single item. Whatever. A control chip or whatever, an ability chip. Anyways. So we get the chip, and then we can have some... We can organize this in different ways. We can do a massive enum and do different behavior based off of this, or we can just have each chip implement its own behavior for the player. I kind of rather have this be done here because this has access to the player class itself, so we have access to the actual things that are being rendered, the audio handles, all that kind of stuff, so it's easier to just kind of do everything in here. Yeah. In fact, now that I think about it, it's only one specific class, so we're gonna have to... Yeah, what type of identifiers do we have beyond just the GUIDs? I think I actually might have to... Because the way I want to do it is just have a switch statement for chip, right? But it's not like we were doing anything polymorphic here. It's not like we were going to derive... I'm not going to inherent other... Like, I'm not going to make, like, for example, a time stop chip that inherits from chips. I'm not going to do that. So instead, I think what I might do is just have, like, a massive enum for ability types and make that be a serialized field, and then, like, we iterate through that. Because it's either we do that or I do, like, a switch statement against a GUID, which is even less helpful because then you're going to have a case statement that's going to be like, I don't know, like, it's going to be a long string that's just not going to make any sense to me. I think I'd rather just make this. And I think that makes sense because we can have different chips, for example, that, I don't know, either we have different chips that are in the class of time stopping but just have different levels of effectiveness, where it's a time stop chip but it's like a low effective, and then there's one that's even more effective, and then like you can just switch to the higher one, or we just say, hey, these are like unique and each one should have their own entry, and that's just how we're going to live our life. I could also just do by name as well, because these should also have unique names. But I like the idea of just having an enum. You know what I'm saying? Like an enum that can be caught explicitly through here. There's no guessing to make sure I have the right name spelled out. It's just the thing. It's just the guy. I don't know, do I do like the whole interface exposure thing? Yeah, so we have like concrete stuff, and then do I ever use that abstraction? Probably not. I probably don't care to use it. And then we can just do this, and then we have all the cases caught explicitly, and then we can make it static clash or something that handles these functions the way I want it to. All right, let me catch up. Sorry, guys. I've been so not reading chat. I've been bad about that. What's going on here? What's going on? Wait. Is that a real thing? It sounds so fun to make. What's a real thing? A maple taffy? What's going on here? I see coding, but not sure what. I'm just working on some player controller stuff. I'm implementing like this chip ability system. Doing calculus exercise, but then after I accepted my faith, one I hate, now I see it as art. It is art, but in lines, and thankfully not like calculus exercises. Yeah, it's actually surprisingly not. Well, there's math, of course, for games, but it's not the same thing. Like, the math you learn is very contextual to a problem. I can find myself having this issue where, like, in school you're provided this math. Like, you can be provided a lesson about a certain topic, but it's very abstract, so it's very hard to connect it to a tangible problem sometimes. Whereas in like programming, it's cool because a lot of times when you're doing math stuff, it's, hey, there's a very tangible problem I'm trying to face here, and it provides a helpful context to apply and understand this stuff, which is cool. I also fear, though, that it means sometimes it's hard for me to apply that elsewhere. I don't know. So what do we have? Default dash, we have time stop, we have, I don't know, bullets. I'm trying to think, like, and this is something you're supposed to be able to control manually. And like UI would have to shift as well depending on what you're doing. Because there's some things that are going to be cooldown based, some things that are going to be maybe we just do cooldown, but so this is going to require some additional things like what the cooldown is going to look like for it. Okay. So we'll deal with this later. This should be a simpler one. We can like implement one basic one and see where that takes us, and then go from there. The default dash. What are we gonna do when we do that? I want to relinquish control away from the player because we're gonna be puppeteering them now. And then where do we go from there? Where do we go from there? This is starting to look like Crimson Crown code, because we had a whole thing for this. Crimson Crown's a much more complicated game, but we had this whole chip system as well there. Maybe to a more simpler degree, or no, to a more. Crimson Crown is more complex. This is a simplified version of it. So I want to have a thing where we say, hey, we're no longer going to give player control. So I need to have a thing here. So you have a machine. I believe this is where we take an input, right? Yeah, because we do the velocity and all that fun jazz. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Or we're going to give like a different impulse, but we're not going to use... Oh, you know what? I can just intercept input. Like this can take control and provide its own input instead of the player. We just have a way of overriding it. And this is what? So maybe it could be a simple thing as like, hey, we can have like a Boolean. Player controlled. So if it's player controlled, then we use this final input. Otherwise, something else is going to be using that. I feel like I almost want to separate this out into its own thing. Why JP? What you mean JP? Like Japan? Learning C in my embedded systems class and have no idea what's going on. Send help. C is great, dude. C is like the funnest, bestest language in the world, dog. Like, you could just go and see, and like, there's no private protected. There's none of that business. There's no inheritance. There's none of. All you just gotta know is your pointers, man. Pointers are fun. They're good. They're good for your bones. Or actually, no. I think that's all you got, and then you have to do your struct type defs. But you don't have to use header files, dude. You don't gotta use header files. You can just embed everything into one massive. Or you don't have to have like two copies. You don't have to have like a header file and a .c file. You can just use one. You can get around this, man. You can avoid it. Yeah, I think like we will get back to this. We will finish this project at some point. But Riven done. Yeah, like look at this. It's great. You don't see like main.c and main.h. Nah, brother. Just have the straight header file. That's all you need, man. This is all you need in life. Just have one main file that has a ton of includes. A simple GCC build script. Life is good, man. Life is good. Yeah, I love C is my love. I will return to her one day. We shall return one day. I'm not gonna lie, part of me wants to just throw this into ternary in here, but the idea of puppeteering, actually, this is a racing. This is like a simple, stupid racing game. We're not gonna worry about having arbitrary amounts of controllers for this character. It's either the player's controlled and we're doing this, otherwise we use like whatever placeholder input. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about it's separating out input state into this, but override. Let's just call it that. Hey, what's going on, Terrell? It's good to see you. Yeah, you're on it. You're on it, dog. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about AI in the stream at all, guys. That's a once and last time we're mentioning it. I'm just a dude making a game for fun, not even for profit, or at least, you know, I'd like to make money off of it, but at the same time, that's not the main motivator here. So I don't think most of my opinions would be even beneficial for y'all. It's player controlled. Otherwise, you're gonna use override, input override. Yep. Very nice. So these guys get to make their decision. We're gonna have these magic input override equals true. Honestly, I should just make this an enumerator. A simple enumerator, if you will. Enumerator. And then we just do stuff from this. Like we're gonna yield something at some point over here. Yield wait, new wait for seconds or something. I don't know. 0.5 seconds. And then, oh yeah, wrong thing. Is player controlled? It's true. So it's gonna look something like that. So basically, we have a switch statement for all the different types of chips. Each chip is going to start their own coroutine, and then we can just kind of puppeteer and do stuff to the player here. So in this case, it's like going to be whatever the last input was. Last lerped input is going to be input override is going to be equal to last lerped input. I think that's how it's going to work. You are a vector 2. Cannot convert. No, you're a float. Because yes, this is only the Y position, not the X position for reasons. Oh, okay. So we actually have to have something here. Because what we're using, or maybe I just convert this back to a Y. Yeah. Okay, this is not as simple as I would have thought. If I'm going to be honest with you, Harry Potter. What's going on here? What was going on? Mouse is on the bottom of the screen. Yeah, there's a mouse on the bottom of the screen. I mean, actually, no. Here. What do you mean? Wait. Yeah, okay. You scared me for a second. I thought you were talking like an actual mouse here somewhere. Because I moved my mouse and it just popped up here. Unless you're talking about this mouse, in which case it's like, okay, we're good. You scared me though. I'm like, you scared me there a little bit, man. It's 10:08. I'm not gonna be too long today. Some reindeers hanging out in the corner. Yeah, there's definitely there's reindeers and mooses. Mooses are terrifying. Mooses are terrifying. It's a game, John Kyle Dumagan. Thank you, Maudi. No offense taken. That's kind of the goal with this stream, is to be just kind of relaxing for people to hang out and just chill and sleep. So no offense taken, man. I appreciate it. And then what do we do? Because we have velocity. We have like... We have the translational velocity. Which, now that I think about it, why is it a... Oh no, it's a vector. It's because it's a sum of all the components. Okay, I got you. I got you. In which case, I may actually want to do something with this then. Let me look. We have physics update. I guess... Well, let me see something. We have last lerped input, and then we have last input from the player. So I think in the start here, we're gonna say translation velocity. Because the machine is still using the input, so I mean, I need to have a way of overriding stuff as well. That's kind of critically important. To have a way of authoritatively telling, hey, where is the machine? Because this one is like, it's like a pipeline, right? It receives input from the player, and then it's gonna move the machine to be, it's gonna update the machine based off these inputs and based off of these physical parameters and limitations I set on it, right? However, what we're doing is different down here. We're not just piping on our arbitrary input into the machine and then letting it do its thing. We're saying, no, I want to tell you how you're supposed to be placed, what your velocity is going to be, how you're going to be, like how all that's going to be handled. So realistically, what I actually need, we have this physics update because it's taking input as well, which that's kind of dumb, honestly. But I understand why I did it, because we use that for informing the sprite rotations. And not even the sprite rotations, but also like I think we also use this for, like, okay, let's do this real quick. Let's do this little fun hack. So we actually only use it here in sprite angle, which if we modify this, changes last sprite angle. So this is purely not even physics related at all. This is purely just representational of just the visuals, nothing to do with actual movement. So I almost feel inclined to, instead of doing that here, instead do that in a you know what? You know, before we do anything, let's just do input override set to last input. Just call that a thing. Not last lerped input, just last input directly. And you should be at vector 3 or vector 2, and you're just gonna be So it's gonna just essentially say, hey, the steering wheel is gonna be there. Now the other part of this is gonna be the speed boost, which I think we're gonna keep this kind of geared towards the build of the machine. We can have this be like a thing where we add a coefficient to this calculation. Where we say, hey, where do we do this? Rotation speed, delta time, coefficient, last right angle, input. Where do we factor in speed? We have translation velocity times delta time times time coefficient. That's part of it. Where do we factor in engine speed? Oh, I know. That's gonna be in the machine. That's where that happens. Yeah. In which case, I almost feel inclined to make this be a function outside of here, and instead have it be a function on update. So things feel way more explicit in terms of Here we go. So things feel way more explicit in terms of execution order. So you have machine doing its process. In fact, we don't want to do this. I'm just going to do... This is what I'm going to do. No, not final output. We're going to do input override. So if player is controlled. Actually, I did this in the wrong order, but whatever. Cool. And then instead of doing this, because I want to be able to just parse this out and think about it as like a step-by-step instruction set that happens every single... A set of instructions that happens every single frame, which is, this is exactly what it is, but I can like conceptually see at a high level what's going on. The engine does its thing. We have a physics update. Yada, yada, yada. Update the sprites. So in here is where we factor in the engine speed. And where is that evaluated at? Vehicle engine acceleration profile evaluate. This is where we get the acceleration coefficient. And then this is use ultimately here, but it's using a lerp. So it may not even behave the way I'd want it to. It allows it to reach its maximum speed faster. But I want to do something weird. We're doing some odd stuff here where we say, hey, we're not going to be, for some period of time, we're going to just we're going to exceed the engine's possibilities. Which means that I'm going to add my own translation velocity, angular velocity. Why are you a vector 2? You don't need to be a vector 2. You're just storing essentially the x component. Whatever, it's fine. Where do we calculate max angular speed? Oh. Okay, so we can just do like speed boost. And then multiply that as well. Max angular. And where do we use you? Where do things break? It breaks here, and it's going to break here as well, right? Yeah, so we're just going to add this term as well. And just hope things work out for the best. So now we have this term that should return back to 1, or else things go very badly. Let's see how this turns out. Hopefully, everything goes great. Say speed boost is 3. This returns back to 1 when we're done, so that it doesn't modify any of the terms. In fact, this is going to be such a ubiquitous thing across everything of like... In fact, this is going to be your ubiquitous thing. So we probably should have a function of like... return to normal. Please. Why not? We say please because as the game grows in complexity, who knows what will be allowed and what if it will actually fulfill my request. But that's the idea, at least. What's going on, chat? It's updated. What's going on, Terrell? Getting back to work? You have a go, man. Thanks for popping in, though, and then modding. I appreciate it, man. Nah, Jay, we're not doing JavaScript, American Patriot. I just pretended with my... Wait, what? And pretend with my bad acting. Who was that? Ew. That people don't know is me. That's evil. Laughing off. Oh, my God. Wow. You blame someone who knows what you're doing, and you just say they will never believe you. Tell them. They're not going to believe you. I'm C#. We're not doing C++ today. Someday soon I'd like to do that, but sadly today we're still in C# land. I'm thinking like I want to do an HD, like not HD, but like an illustrated game or pseudo illustrated game, and see if like my shader lighting model is gonna scale up nicely with that. One day at a time. I need to finish a game first before I can start exploring that. Is there anything else that's required here? Of course. Honestly, there's only one thing to do there, but I imagine this is going to start growing more and more. You'll see. 11:22. Got like 20 more minutes in the tank. Wait, these function names scare you, Draco? Draco, have you... Draco, have you not... Brother, these are so tame. These function names are so tame. Once you go into C land, the land where there's no name spacing, you start getting really specific. You start getting sentences for names. You start getting sentences for names, man. It's pretty ridiculous, dude. Oh, man. I'm trying to search something up. And see if I can find some stuff. Whatever, I'll find stuff later. But yeah, at least here we have some name spacing and other things that are similar to name spacing. Get wrecked? No, it's not a get wrecked thing. It's not a get wrecked thing. It's not a get wrecked thing. It's just you start seeing some stuff, man. You start seeing some stuff. No, please. No. Yeah. Well, please, pretty please. There's gonna be the pretty please where it's like things didn't go right. Like the alternate to this is that it's gonna be like a Boolean return type, and then like we do some stuff, and then we check to see if the game is somehow in a certain is still in a bad state, and like if we get a 0 value from this or like a -1 value, then we call the function like this is what's gonna return. You're gonna go if. 1 second. You're gonna do if. Oh my goodness! Can I please type? Thank you. If return please fails, or like is not correct, then we call the new function. Oh no. Please. Heavens, please make things go normal. And it's also gonna have a Boolean return type. Actually, no, it's not gonna have a Boolean return type. It's just gonna throw an exception. Invalid operation. Exception, the classic. Where things go wrong, but you don't know what exactly it is. So you say, it's just an invalid operation, man. And then what you're gonna do, you're gonna try catch this. You're gonna try this. If it throws, what you're gonna do is not console right. You know, you're gonna throw E. That's what you're gonna. This is what peak engineering looks like, guys. This is what Try going normal, and if it doesn't, then you try to really go normal for real. And if that doesn't work, you still throw the error. You catch the error, and then you throw it. It's like someone tries throwing a brick to your house. You catch that brick, turn around, and then throw that brick through your front door. Like peak engineering. Peak engineering. Quality engineering. This is what you get. This is how you get the big bucks, guys. This is how you get the big bucks. This is how you make it in life. Try catching, throwing, all that stuff, man. Anyways. What other games have you created? So I haven't, as far as Cozy Cabin Games is concerned, I haven't created any games at all whatsoever. Me as a person, I've created games before, but they're either free or, you know, they're probably still monetized, but I just don't. Those accounts have gotten closed long ago. This will be the first game I actually sell, so it'll be cheap. It'll be like a $1.50, I think. So when this comes out, hopefully soon, remember your boy Cozy. If you want to support me, drop that that buckarino when Fight and Flight launches, and then promptly hit the support button, and then report how the game set your phone on fire on frame 1. Gosh, I have to. Oh my goodness, that's the thing I have to do. Is like actually, I don't want to do telemetry. I know people are kind of fine with it at this point, but I don't want to. So I think we're just gonna have a good old. Here's the email, and you can just. I'm gonna provide a way of showing stack traces and whatnot, and then I'll just get obscure files from people randomly at like 2 a.m. and then we're just gonna have to figure it out. What went wrong, or we just say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry to hear that. That's. Yeah, I don't know. You're on your own there, buddy, until like the next update, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. That's part of me wants to like make a bunch of small games. But the other part of me is like, but then you have to support them. So maybe it's better to make one big game. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, that's not it. You see what I'm talking about? Like things get easily long. Particle system animation time mode, Jocko. Like things get easily long very quickly. But yeah, I'll announce in the Discord hopefully sometime soon. I'm hoping this like early this month I can get this game out, or midway through this month we can get this game out and be done. Move on. We have time module. And what else do we do here? We have the time module. You have to actually get it too. Do I not have the time module ready? Do we not retrieve it and store it? I don't. Backend. Nope. There we go. $10:31. Let's try to get something done today. Time. Set. I forgot my own API for this. I don't even know what the... How do we do things here? Observe every value change. No, register. No. Oh, okay. We even have an enumerator. How fancy. Update time dilation lerped. Okay, what parameters you taken? Let's hover up. You have group ID. Okay, I don't know what group IDs exist, so we're just gonna have to actually go through the class and look through this because I didn't do things correctly. I probably should have, but it's whatever. Spilled milk over the bridge. You have group name. But I know I know I created some default groups. I just forgot what they... Here we go. Variable time group, regular time group. Okay, that's all you need to say. Okay, I guess I can't access you. Your public static read-only string. What are you talking about? Oh, static. There we go. So we set the speed for the time group. This is really cumbersome. I should really just simplify this down. I made it ultra modular so we can have n number of time groups that can move at different speeds. I am probably never going to do that. Target, we're going to do like whatever target speed it is for time stopping, quote unquote. Maybe it's going to be time slowing, but whatever. Or maybe we start with time stop and then go from there. And then how fast we're going to have this happen? Probably like 0.2 seconds. Oh, I'm confused. Okay, no, we're good here. And then this is like IEnumerator, so I can actually just yield this. Can I? I should be able to yield this. You return an IEnumerator. So I can, yeah, yield return, my bad. I keep forgetting. I haven't done enumerators in a while. I can yield return. It's going to fade in. We also need to move receiver to group. Regular time group. This is so sleek. I'm going to refactor this at some point. We're just going to do a proper refactor. That's just what we're going to do. So we move this to this group. We start the time dilation. Things slow down. We wait for how many seconds we believe we're supposed to wait for. We don't even have to reserve control. What, like, this is, there's no reserving control here. And there's no need to return control either. This is very contextual to what we're doing here. Anyways, the time of the world is going to start speeding back up, so we're going to return it back to to regular, just 1 second. And this is lerp speed per second, so we actually have to make this faster. It's going to be like 5%, I think. This is in terms of percent. See what good naming can do? It can help you out in times like this. And then what else does one do here? What else does 1 do? Oh right, return. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna be the same, so we're good. We just have to add everything to the variable time group, which, in truth, we don't even have moving obstacles in the game yet. We need to add Oh my goodness. I'm just adding stuff without even thinking about it. We need to have, if we're gonna have time stop, we should probably have things that actually benefit from time stopping. Besides just a clock, but like, yeah, like we need to have things to break. So, okay, chip requirements to make this relevant and actually cool. Things to break. So that's gonna be a whole thing. Enemies of some type. Moving hazards. That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for that. What can these moving hazards can be? What can they be? Like they can be, I don't know. What are we gonna have in this game? Like moving saws? Like, or maybe that's too graphic. Maybe like, I don't know. What are obstacles we would have in this game? We've added all this stuff, but I haven't even compiled or run this yet. What's going on here, guys? Hero or villain? Hopefully more on the hero. Oh no. Oh, this is easy. That's an easy fix. I simply did not set speed boost. Nope. You need to be set to 1 so that things aren't nullified by your presence. The player controller script is also gonna probably not work. Actually, it should. It's gonna throw an exception, a no reference exception, but that should be happening at the very end of start, so it's not gonna impact anything else. Hopefully, at least. Okay, never mind. This is not as simple as I would have thought it was gonna be. We're stuck. We're stuck. We're stuck. Oh, brother. We're stuck. Okay, I've done something. I have broken stuff. I have toiled or played with things that are beyond my... Oh, it's because player control also needs to be set to true. That's simple. Where's player control? Yeah, that guy. Yeah, you should be true by default. Unless asked otherwise. Okay, now we're good. Okay. What are things that should be broken or hazards that can appear in this game? What are hazards that can appear? We usually just provide more context for this world you're flying in. I might even change it because it seems like more like, it almost feels almost like a weird type of cave thing. I mean, it's due to the backgrounds, but the idea is supposed to be you're on these like you're riding across this like intergalactic tube world that connects the planets. But yeah, because these diamonds are cool enough just to validate that this is working, but I actually want to give this more of a feel. I was thinking maybe doing things like making a traffic cone. I was thinking about making it like a traffic cone. Hello, anime. Huh. Character. Okay, whatever. We just resumed this. I don't know what this was. Oh, this is like planning. Oh, yeah, because I was concepting environment stuff. Yeah, that's what we were doing. And how this game was going to look. Okay, so we resume from here. Real quick. But I think something simple would be just having, like, that stuff be... Okay, I forgot my tablet's not... 1 second. What's going on with you? So we're going to make another one. We have X set Wacom. Okay. Actually, we have to also see this list active monitors. Okay. Unrecognized option. I'm assuming this needs a space, right? Nope. I'm pretty sure I spelled it correctly. And the text does not lie. Active monitors. Why must you lie to me? I just want to draw my tablet. This command worked flawlessly. Worked flawlessly. So here's the commands. There's list devices, list parameters, list modifiers. I'm not seeing... a peep here. Let me try one last thing though. We're just gonna rebuild my i3 Windows. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's this one because I remember being like perplexed that this is like a different signature compared to the other thing. Like it's like one thing. Let's just do displays. Or they say, okay, we have options. Display. And you have to input the actual specific display you're looking for. What is going on here, man? Alright, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. I'm just going to blind faith. Because this should be head 0. So I'm just going to update my stylus. And that should just work. And hey, it does work. Okay, cool. We're back in the game. We're back in the game. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'm thinking we can have like a traffic cones repeating thing. If you want to go more into like, this is like public transit, man, and all this stuff. Stick to this theme of like things you encounter in the real world on the roads. Maybe have some road blockers. The thing is, this game takes place on a grid, a square grid. So things like this that don't quite occupy a square cleanly are not the best. The question is like the hazards. What kind of hazards are we going to do here? Because my brain just goes to Saw Blades because Super Meat Boy. It's a formative game in my life. And have something like this moving around. But maybe this is the future, right? Maybe instead of this stuff, they have like, I don't know. Instead of having a road blocked sign, we have like lasers, like in the original game, that just pew pew like this, and they move downwards, and that's gonna make the time slowing actually relevant, because now it's like, all right, you have this thing that fires, and you can react to it, but it sure would be nice if time was slowed down so you can just kind of avoid it perfectly. Wouldn't that be nice? What's going on here? Meowth, what's going on? It's a cozy mon. I'm sorry, what? What is your big O currently? On like what part? Gears. Okay, that's an idea. Gears moving around somewhere. So this is like if we're treating the world of the game that you're playing on as actual road infrastructure. There's the other idea of like, what if we just treat it like flying instead? And instead of using road infrastructure in the sky, we use something else. I mean, there's no sky infrastructure that I know of, but we can go more sci-fi-y. Like we can have like, maybe there's some, in the future, there's some LED stuff in the skies, like drones or something. And they signal like, hey, this space is closed. You can't go to this space. This area is reserved for, I don't know. This is a no-fly zone. Doesn't explain why you get damaged, but I don't know. And this can be made of like little LEDs. We have like the CRT shader we wrote, so we can use something like that. It's not a CRT, it's more just a LCD display thing. There's this. There's also the idea of maybe it's like noxious gas. But then you have like all these blocks. It's going to be weird that it fits squarely into blocks. We can go crazier and have it be like we do the mesh generation thing that I wanted to avoid. And which would undermine some work we've done. Even though the way we have data structured would like work for this type of like I mean, this is kind of mesh generation. You can like a dual contouring-esque or marching cubes-esque type implementation for generating mesh topology, and then once we do that, we can have shaders to make the edges a little bit more wobbly and whatnot, so it can feel more smoke-like. Or of course, we can just still keep it like single instance objects and just have them have their own quads that wobble around. And it could still work. It's just not going to feel as continuous. It's going to feel like a mass of weird stuff as opposed to this. But I kind of like the idea of like having some kind of... It's still clouds, just like bad clouds. Because it kind of preserves the vibe of like you're in the sky, you're flying. You know what I'm saying? QR codes for people for AR goggles. Oh man. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of things we can do with this. Let me go to the hazards real quick. Let's try experimenting a little bit. So in this creation function, because we're not using a resource, we're just constructing it. Create primitive. Tag hazards, yeah. So we can still keep it a quad. I'm not opposed to that. The material though would have to change. But we only have like this. We could do this. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Where is M Hazard? We're gonna experiment with shaders instead of doing actual important gameplay stuff, because you know that's just the kind of guy I am. All right. Why work with architectural and design decisions about the game that are very critical, like implementing an actual mechanic for the game, when you can just shader go burr? Okay, why is this Krita, what do you do? Okay, you know what? You're going over here, Krita. Now we're good. Now we're good. So M underscore hazard. We have this guy here. And you're a simple shader. We're gonna change that probably. We're gonna go gnarly. Great shader. Okay. Thank you. I guess it has a hazard or dot shader extension anyways. But we just go into this and we'll just do something with it. Maybe make it feel more alive. Might be distracting, but who cares, man? Who cares? I think for the for what I want to do, I think the simplest thing I want to do is set vertex. Huh. Oh, this is the struct. Okay, I thought this is the v2f, the vert function. And I was like, wait, why is this keywords here? Why is this? Okay, no. Here's the actual vert function. And then o.vertex unity object to clip position. We're not going to modify that. Instead, we're going to be modifying the float for v.vertex. Which is going to equal like so the Z I don't really care about. I don't think so. Do I care about it? No, I don't care about it. We don't care about you. W, I can't remember if it was 1 or 0. I think it's 1. I don't know. I think it's important. No, I don't know. And then here's where the fun's going to happen, is actually on the X and the Y. It's going to do the thing we do all the time. Sine functions, they're so fun. And cosine functions, they're my favorite. They make me happy. Yeah, I forgot we have to do o.vertex. Actually, no, v.vertex. Yeah, you know, actually, we don't have to worry about this here. We can just do v.vertex.w. And life is going to be good for us. And then, we have to have some thing here like float amplitude, which will be like 0.5. Of course, we're going to be like some speed coefficient. We also have to have this feel like it's offsetted as well. So it's not only going to be like, it's going to be time. It's 10:55, getting closer to I don't know, until I go to sleep, I guess. Because I'm trying to actually have a decent sleep schedule. There's time.y. We're in a plus vertex. Why are you making me feel like I'm crazy? I know there's an underscore time.y. Don't make me feel like I'm crazy. I know I'm not crazy. I don't know. We'll do 2 for right now. Yeah. We're gonna use offset from the position. Oh, that's right. We have to make this relative to the vertex as well, because we're ultimately adding like a term on top of this. Yeah, so maybe I'll just do Why are you mad at me? Why is everyone mad at me? I did nothing wrong. I was right. Y term. Okay, cool. We have these. We have this. Very nice. And then these internally need to be multiplied by speed. So it's gonna be relative to, it's gonna scale the input here. Okay, cool. Cool. And then finally, instead of doing v.vertex, you just supply vertex directly. Now we're gonna have our wobbly vertices. Very fun. Maybe this is gonna be too much. You know, like 20% oscillation. Maybe the speed might be too fast. I'll do 0.5. And cool. I think we should be good here. I think we should be gravy. And then, I mean, of course, I'd want to change this to sprite of like actual, like, I don't know, something else. Well, let's just test with this first and see if it looks disorienting. What's going on here? Oh, we also have to set this, don't we? We do have to apply this. Okay, why are we stuck here? I gotta go. It was good. Always chatting with you guys and cozy. Bye, everyone. Stay cozy. Also, more guitar sesh, please, and tell us when. I'll let you know. And you know what? I always post stuff in the. I don't even post stuff in Discord. I just go live. But for you on Discord, next time I do a music session, I'll post it on the channel. Or put it like in a community note thing or something. Not notes, announcements or whatever. I should get better with that. What is going on here? I'm not seeing. Wait. What? Why is Unity's UI broken? When did this happen? Wait a second. One second. Re-import. Updating assets search index. Why are you doing this? I don't want you doing that. Okay, cool. It's 11 o'clock right now, guys. We need to test it, and then I'm going to call it a stream. Come on, though. Is it really because of Krita? Is this really the issue, the fault? Okay. Okay, we saved it. We closed it. Because all this weird UI stuff only started happening then. Nope. Still being weird. Okay, we're gonna go nuclear. We're just gonna... Oh. You looked normal for a second. Rebuild. There we go. We just have to do a little rebuild. That's fine. We can do rebuilds. So we're gonna do... hazard. Nice. And just send it, I guess. That's all one can do in life. Let's see how these hazards look. For a spreadsheet, no, you just remember it, hack on. I mentioned it before, but a code base is kind of like your house. When you clean it up, you know where you put stuff. Oh. What? Okay, we're just gonna pause for a second. Okay, so it is doing the oscillation. But yeah, it's like a house. Like when you organize and clean up your house, you know where things are. If you go into someone else's houses, you're not gonna know where they put stuff. Or if someone goes into your house and just like cleans it up in their own way, and then you're not gonna know where your stuff is because you're expecting it to be where you usually put it, but it may not be there. So let's first fix this issue. Call.a is, let's say just equal to 0. Discard. Okay, so that fixes one part of this issue. Next part, I want to make this a little bit more extreme. So we're going to have some of these terms be a bit more extreme. Come on. We're going to have like a float like... offset's a bad term, but it's kind of what we're doing. Or I guess distance. That's bad because we cover up another term, but distance. Let's do like 2. So that v.vertex is going to be even more extreme of a value. Save it, go back to the game, refresh it, and maybe make it faster as well. Maybe that's what I want to do. I actually just want this to be a little bit faster. So let's make it 1.5 instead of 0.5. Okay. I like the fast, but maybe the amplitude needs to be a little bit smaller. Keep going the wrong direction. I'm so used to having Unity be over here instead of there. There we go. For the offset, for position, I almost want to use world space instead. Because these are all uniformed. I don't want that. I want to have some offset. And we're using object space for this, which is not going to produce that. We need to have a world space position to use for that kind of reference. So that's to be simple. Simple. World space equals math, not math mul, just mul. It's gonna be what? Unity to, what was it? Unity object to world, yeah. And then you multiply it by, am I forgetting stuff? v.vertex, and this needs to be a float 4. and then you do X, Y, Z, and we're gonna overwrite this with 1 instead, and that should produce the float 3 position, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, wait, I'm treating it like a function. Yeah, there we go. It's a matrix. We're multiplying against that matrix. Unity object to a clip. No, not clip position. World. Yeah. Not world normal. These are functions. I need a. It's a matrix. I know it's here somewhere. I forgot what it's called. How it's. I know it's that though. Not this one. Unity underscore object to world. There we go. That's producing the matrix you want. That's going to multiply against this. Gets our world space position. And then finally in here, instead of doing v.vertex.x. Oh, actually we're going to use just x to do the offset, I think. Because y is not going to... I guess it could work. It would work. It's just not going to be the... screw it. It's fine. Yeah, this should be fine. So now if we do this, now they're all offset in a variety of ways. But it still feels contiguous. You can make it a little bit more separated. Even more separated. Cool. And now we just have to change the sprite to be like, I don't know, something different. Something different. Can I press play? Why can I not interact with the UI? That's a weird. Maybe just my Linux stuff being weird right now. But yeah, let's, I'm gonna do something. Okay. Rebuild. We're gonna duplicate you. We're gonna go edit you. I'm sorry. I'm interacting. Oh my goodness, why is my UI just being weird? Alright. I'm going to take that as my sign to call it a night, guys. Anyways, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for hanging out and watching me do some deving. I wasn't even expecting to do much today, and we honestly didn't do much, but hey, we got the ball rolling with some features. Are we going to make it within 1 month? I have no idea. Probably not. I'm not going to stress too much about it. It was a self-imposed thing to begin with, but hey, whatever. I'm learning from this, though, so I'm enjoying the process. And hopefully we can get some more clarity on the direction of this game. Maybe I just cut out the chips entirely and just keep it super, super simple. Keep it super duper simple. It's a casual mobile game. You gotta move forward, avoid obstacles, get a high score, call it a day. Maybe that's just what we do, man. I don't know. Anyways, though, before I call it a night, let me go to boot up the engine project real quick, the overlay project. We will go back to work on the engine one day. That's the goal. We're gonna have it. We're gonna have it. We're gonna be back here. Yeah. Close this. Go down. Go down. Oh my goodness. UI is just fighting me today, isn't it? I can't even interact with. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I cannot even. There we go. All right. Anyways, 1 second.
gonna make this a habit. I kind of like ending with a kind of intro.
All right, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. God bless. And until next time, stay cozy.